Hi, my name is Lawrence, and I'm joining in from Singapore. I worked for Sage for about 7 years, and I would like to give you extend a big thank you for joining us here at FMS Customer Day, and for your continued trust in Sage. It is my pleasure to deliver some of the keynotes as an introduction for those who are not familiar with Sage. So I'm one of the 12,000 colleagues from around the world working with established partners like FMS to help our amazing customers transform their businesses. And of course, also during these very challenging times, right? And just an interesting note that we've been in business and a market leader for over 30 years. We've actually just celebrated our 40th year in business this year in 2021. And as you can see, Sage has done pretty well over the past year. And we have done at about 1.637 billion pounds, which is about $2 billion in annual revenue. And you can see from our performance that we've increased our revenue by about 5.4%. That grew by about 5.4% over the past year. And more importantly, we have a recurring revenue of about growth of 7.7%. Now, this is important as we continue to serve the 2 million customers that we have, over 2 million customers that we have over the past year around the world, because we recognize that you, our customers, are the backbone of industry. You are the foundation of the economy. And we want to do well to continue and to have the ability to deliver our long-term vision in providing fantastic products and a great customer experience for you, ongoing as you use our products. So our focus in Asia is more towards the ERP solutions. And we do so with cloud hybrid solutions like Sage 300 that you are not, that you are no stranger to. You're very familiar with this product. Previously, it was called Atp. Now it's called Sage 300 and Sage 300 Cloud. We've also seen a increase in adoption of our Sage CRM product as customers start to work from home and salespeople start to operate remotely, okay? And we have also seen an increase in our business with Sage X3 as there are more customers who are going for web-native ERP, and they also have more complexities in their business that they would like to solve. We have seen a tremendous increase in adoption of our ISV solutions. And currently, we have over 20 ISV partners in Asia, and more so like, AutoSimply, and many of you are using Norming as well. These are our ISV partners that are helping Sage deliver greater customer experiences. Okay, my slide is very short, so I'll hand it back to Wuttipon to introduce my colleagues who will share more information to you regarding Sage X3 and Sage 300 as well. Okay, on to you, Wuttipon.
Okay, thank you, friends. ค่ะลำดับถัดไปนะคะก็ขออนุญาตเชิญทางคุณเบอร์นาร์ดวองนะคะมาแนะนำในเรื่องของโซลูชัน Sage X3 ค่ะซึ่งเป็นโซลูชันตัวOn Web ERP นะคะเป็นอีกหนึ่งไฮไลท์นะคะ Hi Bernard.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bernard. I'm dialing in from Malaysia. First of all, thank you for joining us this morning, and of course, special thanks to FMS for this invite. Yeah, could you just move to the next slide, please? Yeah, X3 highlights is really about the manufacturing operation, focusing on distribution, the cloud service offering, customer first experience, connected ecosystem, and what is our compliance globally. And as for FY21, we are actually starting off with our customer. Our customer, are our priority. And echoing to what Kun Wuchipon have presented and what FMS team for today is how to digitalize your enterprise is really goes hand in hand with the team that we are actually moving Sage X3 forward. If you go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So the continuous improvement of X3, maybe some of you may have seen X3 in the version 9 version 11. Today, we are really at version 12, whereby we are continually improving the version 12 based on our quarterly patch upgrade, which I will showcase to you later on. Yeah, the next slide, please. Yeah, this is really the core of our development team. As you can see, indicated in blue, green, purple, red, and yellow. The blue one is really focusing, first is our customer and partner experience. The user experience is important to us. We want to create an environment whereby the users, when they use Sage X3, is not a very, very complicated system to adopt to, right? So that's why if you ever seen Sage S3, is always pushed out by via role based. If you are an accountant, this is your page that you are going to see. These are the steps that you follow. If you are a purchaser, these are the steps that you follow. If you are a production manager, these are the steps that you follow. Everything is very clear cut and very structurized for the users. And in terms of the partners, of course, we introduce features and our tiny metered ecosystem that helps the partners even further to integrate with different third-party solution back to X3. And if you needed things that is not available, readily available within the standard X3 platform, you are actually able to plug in some third-party solution. Give you a very good example is most of the time you will have HR solution, which is very localized and very country-based, right? So you might have a HR solution from Thailand, for example, that you want to actually link back into X3, right? And the second one, the green bars here are really our targeted capabilities, whereby we are actually focusing on the verticals now to actually enhance the further experience. Like if you are into project and services management, these are the verticals, and we are starting to build into our core the standard fields that have actually helped you to manage that. If you are into manufacturing and you would like to further manage your resources, this is how you go about. If you are doing asset and contract management, those are the things that we are actually very targeted verticals and very targeted capabilities for specific industry. Of course, Sage X3 is also well known if you are deploying the software into multi-countries or multi-companies with multi-legislation or with multiple setup across Thailand or across Southeast Asia or across the world, right? So the digital transformation are actually not only the software are actually growing, the needs of individual departments is also growing as we are all affected by this pandemic, right? And everyone is moving to the bandwagon of digitalizing most of the department. Manufacturing for chemicals and F&B, that is also one of our team that we are targeting as well. And the innovation framework, just like what Kun Wuchipon have mentioned just now, is we are also focusing in IoTs, right? Internet on Things, whereby you will see a lot of Industry 4.0, whereby people will actually piggyback on the technology, right, to further make their factory smarter, and they enhance a smart factory, right? And of course, blockchain, a very new and advanced technology that we actually have experience with blockchain. We work with a group in UK called Jupiter Group that uses the blockchain capability to actually do a product traceability right to the origin of the product, because we do understand some of the manufacturers, it is important to, especially in food or maybe pharmaceutical line, it is important to trace back to the origin of that particular raw material and things like that. And like Kun Utipon had mentioned just now, Sage X3 is also very much into RPAs, whereby it helps you to further automate your invoice processing capabilities. When you have received plenty of invoices a day, it actually helps you to speed up the process of inputting the invoices to the particular system, right? And of course, all this works on top of the platform that we are improving day and day, right? As for collaboration, the closely collaboration with Office, everyone works on Office now. The teams that we are using today and SharePoint, right? That you can share your important documents and the information across, and the cloud tooling and release management tools. Okay, so all these are actually interoperability and integration tooling that we actually are enhancing our APIs, the backbone, the gist of the programming native that we are on, so that the partners or actually the users can easily link to any third-party solution or any integration that they would like to build. It could be a small integration just to capture some data off from your Excel spreadsheet, for example, right back to the system. So all these are actually we are actually evolving it. We are actually improving it. And if you go to the next slide, please. Yeah, so part of our improvement is really, one slide back. Yeah, okay, part of our improvement really is, really, if you see on this, the second line here, the customization and tailoring is the cumulative patching. Today, one of our improvement is really you do not need to patch from one particular version to another version. You can actually do a cumulative patching. Like let's say if to the latest release now is 2021 R4, you can actually patch that, and that will actually brings you up to 2021 R4 regardless of whether you're in version 9 or version 11 previously, right? So all those are actually cumulative, and you do not need to do one step and one step and one step, right? That, and then you can actually touch the patch tester, and you test out the patch and you read out what is available for each patch. Another new innovation that we have is what we call an ATP platform. An ATP is automated testing pilot platform. What it basically does is, in case you have actually some customization, or in case you want to test certain features out of the new versions, right? You are actually able to use a layman or a normal English scripting into the ATP platform and actually test out that particular scenario. And what the ATP does, I will actually elaborate slightly a little bit more later. What the ATP does is actually it runs through all the scenarios that you have actually put in, and then it will give you certain results and tell you where is the blocking and what needs to be changed and things like that. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, so as I have mentioned just now, the idea is really for partners and customers to actually have a brand new experience while using Sage X3. And today, Sage X3, first of all, we call it a responsive user experience. Basically, what it means is, regardless of what media you are using, whether you are using a laptop or you are using your phone to do certain entry, the screen will be optimized to the particular medium you are using. So you can see the two examples here. If you are using a laptop, the screen will be in a horizontal mode, whereby you could enter things horizontally. And if you are using your phone, let's say if you ad hocly you need to enter in an invoice, the screen will be automatically shrink down to a vertical mode whereby you can actually do a vertical entry or you can do a vertical viewing, right? So all this is actually to streamline and accelerate your business form from wherever you are. So we are actually, because we are a web native platform, you are actually, it's very connected. You do not need to necessarily be at one place or even now we even say that you do not necessarily need a particular device to actually goes into X3. You can actually access X3 with any kind of devices available out there. All you need is, of course, your browser and a working internet. That's about it, right? The next slide, please. Just elaborate a little bit more about the automated test platform. What it actually does, like I said just now, is just really creating, in a layman term, what are the test scripts that you want, and basically it will actually runs the test in accordance to the testing, the scenario that you have put in, and basically it will throw you out what we call an allure reports that actually tells you what are the operation that has passed, what are the operation that has failed, and it have failed. Let's say, for example, I'm creating a business partner master, for example. It has failed because certain text field were not entered or certain addresses was not entered. So it will throw you reports like this. So it actually you script it, you run, and you report and analyze it. This is precisely useful if you are testing a new scenario, or if you are testing your customization, actually does it work with the latest patches or the latest version. So you can actually make full use of this, right? The next slide, please. Okay, now I'm going to really show you what is the targeted roadmap for X3, really, right? But of course, this is what we have as a current view, but of course it may differ slightly in future. It may or may not differ, right? So it's always important that the current roadmap, as I have shown you today, is what is our standpoint at this point of time, right? The next slide, please. Next, yeah, okay. So you will see that the roadmap, I have the roadmap started from June this year, right through to June next year, right? Focusing mainly on the teams that I've shared with you. On the finance team, you can see there's a continuous improvement on the VAT framework, mainly built on the compliances, and especially we have so many compliances of different legislation around the world. And then you will see there are the bad debts and query APIs that we are improving for the finance, and the mutation APIs. Okay, those are very technical terms. As you can see, it's standard across. Mainly finance is governed by the compliances, right? And the legislation needs of the finance module, right? And then we have a compliance that actually works hand in hand with the finance here, right across to June next year. Then, as you can see, distribution, we are actually focusing on a new ADC, Advanced Data Collection. This is actually the tool or the module that actually echoes to what Kun Utipon has said just now about barcoding and scanning. This is a module that actually helps the distribution or logistic people to actually very quickly scan the transactions. I will actually later explain to you further on the ADCs and which particular modules or which particular option are available with ADC. So actually you could have things like, we are actually starting off in R4 now, right? Planning for R4. So you are looking at put away the fast picking and the enhancement. Okay, we are also looking at things like APIs for e-commerce, right? Coming the next queue, you will have advanced picking, operation, wave picking, and zone picking, right? And you have shipment and the new ADC distribution for wave picking and zone picking. And then further on, we will have the distribution, further enhancement for the ADC, right? Then you have things like project management that we are focusing on as well, right? And the UX is actually the user experience. The screens are improving and the APIs and such, right? Recurring billings and things like that. Manufacturing, you have things like the ADC would also have worked with the manufacturing module, whereby you have things like when you issue out to your production floor, you could have actually used the ADC devices to actually capture the transaction as well, things like that. And then, of course, the platform improvement, like I said, at the end of the day, the whole team of the particular improvement works hand with the platform enhancement that we are doing for Sage X3 as well. So you will see that we are continually improving the patching. Okay, how do you do the delta patching? Okay, the changes of the patching to actually enhance the speed of the patching, right? You can we are actually enhancing the elastic search as well. Those are like your Google-like search that you are actually doing, and all these are actually because the whole idea is to have all these new features on top of improving platform as well. So everything is actually evolutionized by us, right? Okay, you go to the next slide, please. So the highlight, if you just click on it, just click on the slide. Just click.
Oh, I did.
Or it's not appearing.
No, let me try this.
Okay. I think you do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then one more click, please. One more click. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. So the ADC, right? The highlights is really we are actually building this platform on top of an Android OS. Android OS is something that you actually have on your mobile devices as well. Okay. Currently, the device compatibility is on Zebra as well as the MC93 series. And bear in mind that currently the vision is in future we may have the this particular ADC working on your Android mobile phone as well. Okay, that is the vision, right? But currently it's working on these devices and it's built on Android OS as this is the most evolved platform right now because previously it's always on Windows CE and all those things, and really we are actually moving that on the platform. And these are the currently based on 2021 R2 and actually R3, you have actually all these transactions is already readily available. So you can actually log in these devices with this screen, and then you basically can do all this. Put away your purchase order receipts, your purchase receipt, your stock change, your location reordering, stock by location and stock by site, pick ticket, and miscellaneous issue and receipts there already. So in R3 and R4 that is coming up within these 2 months, it's really will be focusing a little bit more on the manufacturing side as well. Okay, you can go to the next slide, please. Okay, the other thing that we are actually improving, remember earlier on I was talking about resources, right? Resources management is really, we also have incorporated what we call a scheduling module within Sage X3. Basically what a scheduling module is actually is a timetable for your production people to actually plan what in accordance to what you need to produce and what are the arrangement, and if certain ad hoc order were to come in, what is the impact to your particular schedule and whether you will be late in delivery of some of the product that you are passing to your customer or not, whether certain orders are delayed because of those impact or not. So all these are for the planner, is a planning tool for the production folks, right? So these are basically a very high level. and some highlights that I want to share with you guys today. And of course, there is way more in-depth of things that we are actually enhancing with Sage X3. This is just some of the highlights. Yeah. So this will be my last slide. Thank you. So I'll pass the time back to Khun Utipo.